Our next topic discussion on types of reproduction. Types of reproduction. Next topic discussion. Types of reproduction. See here, the reproduction ensures continuity of life as genetic material is transferred from generation to generation. The genetic material is transferred from one generation to another generation. That is reproduction. Then here, reproduction ensures continuity of life. So reproduction only helps to maintain continuity of living organisms population. As genetic material is transferred, genetic material, see here, DNA, genetic material is DNA, the genetic material. It is transferred from one generation to next generation. Okay, that's all. Here, asexual reproduction is of two types. One is asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. One is asexual reproduction, another one is sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. First of all, let's get discussion about asexual reproduction. In this one, asexual reproduction. It is production of offspring. Production of offspring through a single parent. It is the production of offspring through a single parent. Only single parent is involved. No fusion and production of gametes. That is called asexual reproduction. Generally, in asexual reproduction, offspring are identical to the parental organisms, which are formed from somatic cells. Somatic cells. Somatic cells. Somatic cells means what? Other than reproductive cells. Remaining all parts are called somatic cells. So the offspring, as a result of asexual reproduction, offspring are formed. These offspring are formed from the somatic cells. So these offspring are identical to the parental cells. Identical to the parental cells are identical organisms are. Okay. See, in asexual reproduction, offspring are formed from a single parent. Only single parent is involved. Only single parent is involved. So generally, a single parent. A single parent is involved. Single parent, that means what? Single cell parent or multicellular parent. Multicellular parent. Single parent or single cell parent, multi-parent, multicellular parent. Multiplied. So single cell parent, multicellular parent, multiplied. Multiplied. Either by binary fission, either by binary fission or by multiple fission. Multiple fission. Single cell parent or multicellular parent multiplied either by binary fission or multiple fission. Or budding process. Budding. Fragmentation. Budding or fragmentation. Through these processes, okay, either by binary fission, multiple fission, budding, fragmentation. these processes, new cells are formed. Identical cells or organisms are formed. That is asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction means production of offspring without the fusion and production of gametes. Those offspring are identical to the parental organisms. Those are formed by the somatic cells. That is asexual reproduction. Next here we will see sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. It is the production of offspring from the two parents. In sexual reproduction, two parents are involved. It is the production of offspring from two parents. Two parents are involved. Those two parents are produced. So, and it is the production of offspring in which two parents are involved. Those two parents are produced gametes. Those gametes are leads to the fertilization. Those gametes are unite with each other and finally fertilization takes place. As a result of fertilization, zygote is formed. The zygote. So when the sperm and ova both are fused with each other, zygote is formed. Zygote. This zygote undergoes mitosis divisions. The zygote undergoes mitosis divisions and produces a number of cells. Those all the cells are differentiated: outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, middle mesoderm, and produces offspring. Adult offspring, individual organisms are formed. Those organisms are day by day shows growth and forms all the parts. Okay, that is sexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, two parental organisms, two parents are involved with the formation of gametes and fusion. The formation of gametes and fusion. As a result of that, zygote is formed. The zygote undergoes mitosis divisions and produces individual organisms. Individual organisms or offspring are formed. Generally here, sexual reproduction occurs in all metazoans. Sexual reproduction occurs in all metazoans. Sexual reproduction occurs in all metazoans. Metazoans means what? Almost all the animals. And some protists like monocystis. Some protists like monocystis. Monocystis means some internal parasites of all the vertebrates. In all the vertebrates, internally there is a kind of a parasite that is called monocystis. Plasmodium, paramecium. These all shows sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction occurs in all metazoans, including protists like monocystis, plasmodium, and paramecium. So, sexual reproduction. Special type of sexual reproduction occurs in some of the paramecium. Special type of reproduction takes place in paramecium. That kind of reproduction is called conjugation. Special type of sexual reproduction takes place in paramecium. That is called conjugation. So conjugation is a type of sexual reproduction which takes place in paramecium. About this conjugation, it is not their concepts. Just with this word only they have stopped. they have stopped. Okay, conjugation it is in old syllabus. In new syllabus, no need to keep any discussion. So in these many of organisms, sexual reproduction is occurs. This is the introductory part. So first, again, let's start. Asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. Characters of asexual reproduction are characteristics of asexual reproduction. In this one, a single parent is involved. Single parent is involved. In asexual reproduction, only a single parent is involved. Gametes are not formed. Generally, unicellular organisms or multicellular organisms shows asexual reproduction. Single cell parent or multicellular parent shows asexual reproduction. In them, gametes are not found. Gametes are not found. Hence, there is no fertilization. Fertilization does not take place. Somatic cells directly by division, parental organism divides and forms new organisms. In these single cellular parent, multicellular parents, cell division is a type of a reproduction. Cell division itself a type of a reproduction. Okay. So generally, the cell division occurs either mitosis or amitosis divisions. So mitosis, everybody knows that. Amitosis divisions, already first piece I said that. Amitosis, direct division of nucleus. This is the nucleus. This nucleus gradually let me say elongated. Direct division of nucleus by constriction. The nucleus is elongated. After certain length, the nucleus is cut off. The direct division of nucleus. Amitotic division. Once again, listen that. Amitosis, direct division of nucleus. Okay? That's all. So generally, the organisms which are showing asexual reproduction, those organisms undergoes cell division either by mitosis or amitosis. As a result of asexual reproduction, new individual organisms are formed. Those individual organisms are called clones. Those organisms are called clones. The term clone refers to morphologically and genetically similar to the parental organisms. Those organisms are called clones. Through asexual reproduction, whatever may be the organisms are formed, those organisms are called clones. The clones are genetically and morphologically similar to their parents. Through asexual reproduction, new organisms are formed. Those organisms are called offsprings. Or individual organisms are clones. Those clones are exotely, genetical composition and morphological composition. Morphological means what? External and internal features. The external features and internal features are similar to their parents. Those organisms are called clones. It is one more important definition. Define clones. Okay, so as a result of asexual reproduction, whatever may be the new organisms are formed, those organisms are genetically and morphologically identical to their parents. Those organisms are called clones. Generally, multiplication occurs rapidly. Multiplication occurs rapidly. Multiplication occurs rapidly. Very fast. Through asexual reproduction, multiplication process occurs very rapid. This is what I say. Single celled parent or multicellular parent multiplies either by binary fission or multiple fission or budding or fragmentation. And as a result of them, identical cells are formed or individual organisms, new individual organisms are formed. Okay, these are all the characteristic features of the asexual reproducing organisms. Now, occurrence. Asexual reproduction occurs in many organisms. Those are, see here, some single cell organisms like monomerans, such as bacteria, protists, that is amoeba, paramecium, euglena, etc. In them also, asexual reproduction commonly occurs. Next, some plants like algae shows asexual reproduction. Some animals like hydra and sponges, those also possesses asexual reproduction. Okay, that's all. So hydra, sponges. Next, members of kingdom, fungi like yeast and penicillium. The scientific name of yeast, Saccharomyces cerevisiae. First PUC studied that. Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Penicillium notatum. Scientific name of penicillium is Penicillium notatum. There are number of species are there. The penicillium species are hundreds of species are there. Those are all shows asexual reproduction. Higher plants. A number of number of higher plants, they show a type of asexual reproduction that is called vegetative propagation. Vegetative or vegetative reproduction. Number of higher plants, they show asexual reproduction in the form of vegetative reproduction. Next, asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is absent in all invertebrates. Asexual reproduction is absent in higher invertebrates and all vertebrates. In all the vertebrates and higher invertebrates the asexual reproduction is absent. Okay, this is the occurrence. Next, mode of reproduction, mode of asexual reproduction. Generally, mode of asexual reproduction means how asexual reproduction takes place in various ways. Already this is what in first PUC first chapter you studied that. So asexual reproduction occurs in various means. Those are, first one is fission. Second one is budding. Third one is formation. Fourth one is fragmentation. And fifth one is vegetative reproduction. Vegetative reproduction. So higher plants shows this type of reproduction. Okay, vegetative reproduction in higher plants is called asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is also called vegetative reproduction in higher plants. So in these many of ways, asexual reproduction takes place. First of all, here let's talk about fission. Now I will talk about fission. See here. Fission. Fission. See here. Fission. This is what we are seeing. Fission. The term fission refers to splitting of a parental organism into two. The fission of parental organism into equal parts. That is called fission. So the fission, accordingly, the fission could be of two types. Accordingly, the fission could be of two types. One is binary fission. One is binary fission. Another one is multiple fission. Binary fission and multiple fission. The word itself saying the significance. What is binary and multiple? Let's talk binary fission. The word only saying the significance of this binary fission. So binary fission, in this one, the parental organism divides into two equal parts. The parental organism is divided into equal parts. See, this is the parental body. This is the parental body. In the parental body, the nucleus divides into two. The nucleus is divided into two equal parts. So one nuclei comes this side and one more nuclei comes this side. So when the nucleus is divided into two parts, then in between the parental organism is divided into two equal parts. Equal parts. Two equal parts. So then this nucleus won't be upwards. This is the like this. See, exactly it is like this way. After certain days, this is separated. It will be grown as a new individual. It will be grown as a new individual. The single parent, one parental organism is divided into two parts. These two parts separated, and these two are called two offsprings. These two offsprings are grow individually and leads their individual life. This is called binary. Binary means two. The single parent is splitting into two equal halves, simultaneous parts, two equal parts. That is called binary fission. Okay, that's all. So the binary fission, it is commonly seen in amoeba, euglena, paramecium, etc. Okay, that's all. So this is binary fission. So next, it is one organism, it is one organism. Next, it will grow like this way. After certain days, today is the offsprings. After some days, this is the parent. This parental organism again undergoes binary fission and forms two parental organisms, two offsprings. These two offsprings day by day developed and forms two offsprings. These two offsprings again turn to be parental organisms. It is also same like this. Okay, that's all. One becomes two, two becomes four. After some days, it is again divided. It is again divided. So, four parental organisms becomes 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 parents are formed. So, 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16. Like that, their population is continuously multiplied. Thus, the binary fission occurs by division, that is cell division. So, the cell division itself in unicellular organisms a kind of a reproduction. Okay, that is called binary fission. Next, generally here the binary fission. Binary fission could be, the binary fission could be longitudinal. Longitudinal. Example, Verticella. The binary fission could be longitudinal. Verticella. The binary fission could be longitudinal. Euglena. Okay. The binary fission could be longitudinal in Verticella and Euglena. So longitudinal. What is longitudinal? Longitudinal means what? Vertical. Okay, so for example, Verticella and Euglena. So Euglena is longitudinal. The parallel body is divided into two parts, vertical direction. Longitudinally, like this way, longitudinal. As in Verticella and Euglena, the binary fission could take place vertical direction, longitudinal direction. The binary fission could be transverse. Transverse means what? Horizontal. Like this way, horizontal. The binary fission could be horizontal. As in paramecium. Example, paramecium. If the binary fission occurs longitudinal, that is what is the longitudinal. If it is occurs horizontal, transverse, that is in paramecium. If the binary fission occurs oblique, if the binary fission could occurs oblique means what? Slope direction. In such a way occurs in Serratium. It is kind of unicellular organisms. Like this way. The binary fission in some organisms vertical, in some organisms horizontal, in some organisms slope, oblique. However it occurs, their population multiplied within a short span of life. That is called binary fission. Binary fission. So these are all examples in NEET exams they will ask. When I will start a NEET objective discussion, if you listen these topics and study, fat, will keep answers. You will not at all wait. Okay? Yes. So in textbook, in your NCERT textbook, just little information given. That I am making little bit enlarged. Okay? That's it. Next, multiple fission. Multiple fission. Multiple fission refers or means the parental organism is divides into many parts. Multiple means many. Fission cut into many parts. The parental organism is divides into number of daughter organisms. Number of parts. Those are all the parts are gradually turned to be a daughter organisms. Daughter organisms are gradually turned to be a organisms. New organisms. That is called multiple fission. Multiple fission. In this one, the parental body, this is the parental body. Assume this is the parental body. The parental body is divided into number of fragments. Multiple pieces. So, like this way, like this way, like this way, like this way. Each fragment develops into a new organism. That is called multiple fission. So, in this one, in the parental organisms, the nucleus, maybe the nucleus will be there. The nucleus is divided into multiple pieces. Multiple pieces. It is divided into multiple pieces. Multiple pieces. So this is the nucleus. Singular. Nucleus is a singular. One nucleus undergoes multiple fission and forms number of nuclei. These are all called nuclei. Number of these are all nuclei. Number of nuclei. Each nuclei receives a little amount of cytoplasm. Little amount of cytoplasm. Each nuclei receives little cytoplasm. Gradually, when this receives little cytoplasm, gradually turn to be a daughter organism. That is called multiple fission. So, example, multiple fission example. It is very common. Multiple fission is very common type of reproduction in malarial parasite Paramecium. Malarial parasites in Paramecium. When those malarial parasites attack on red blood cells, at that time they will show multiple fission. Okay, so multiple fission is a very common type of reproduction in malarial parasites. Malarial parasites in Paramecium. Malarial parasites in, not a Paramecium, Plasmodium, sorry. That is Plasmodium vivax. Plasmodium vivax. That parasite name is vivax. Plasmodium vivax. So when malarial parasite Plasmodium vivax attacks on red blood cells, those parasites shows multiple fission. This is the first example for multiple fission. For multiple fission.